Assalamu alaikum viewers, good evening, Wednesday, and Nusrat Shafi is again here with my show Dil Ki Baatein, Heart to Heart Talk. I keep doing my shows in Urdu and English. Similarly, I have my guests here and we'll be talking in Urdu and English as well. आपको दोनों आते हैं, English भी आती है. You are in Canada, come on, आप सब understand करते हैं, but still we have guests who speak only English, so I have to sometimes speak with them in that language to make it easy. तो कैसा रहा आपका दिन? I know every week you are waiting for Dil Ki Baatein with Nusrat Shafi, and before we go into details, मैं हमेशा जैसे एक मैसेज देती हूँ मैं तो अक्सर रूमी को ही लेकर बैठती हूँ, बट आज मेरे पास कुछ बड़ी टेक्निकल टीम है. हमारा जो टाइटल है वो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. It's in the market and we have to focus on that, we have to pay attention to that, which is very very important for our security and safety. So मुझे इससे एक Benjamin Franklin का एक quote याद आया था, those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. So this is basically related in context to new technology and concerns about government surveillance. So safety is no accident. The key to safety is in your hands. Every accident is noticeable that something is wrong with material, men, or methods. So investigate, then act. So which is very important. हम सबको, we have to pay attention. And that is the main title. हमारा title आज का जो है, that is join the cyber security workforce through free education and mentorship. और इसी के साथ जैसे मैं अपने guests को भी introduce करवाती हूँ. They are here, very intelligent, beautiful ladies, जो कि मैं अभी आपको एक surprise दूंगी. But before that, I have a message for you, which is our social media handle is at Voice of Toronto TV. We have our email address, give me a feedback, voiceoftorontotv@gmail.com, और हमारा website है votmedia.ca. तो कॉल कीजिए at 905-670-4110. बट आज आप मुझे कॉल करेंगे at 647-621-2086. इस नंबर पे आज लाइव शो के लिए कॉल कीजिए, क्योंकि थोड़ी सी टेक्निकल इशू आई है हमारे स्टूडियो के कॉल नंबर पर. तो आप हमें कॉल कीजिए, ask us questions. We have experts sitting here, and my first guest is Laurie Chan, and I'm welcoming her. She is basically a security consultant. She's expert in that, and I'll be welcoming her. My second guest is Ayman Zara. Ayman Zara is expert and she's security analyst. And then I have Lara Alfariz. She is security operations intern. तो हम चलते हैं, we are going towards our guests, welcoming her, all of them to Dil Ki Baatein. Hello ladies, how are you?
Good.
How are you, Lauren?
Not too bad, thanks for asking.
Nice to come to my show. Welcome to Dil Ki Baatein. And Ayman, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Nusrat, and thank
You're
you for having
welcome.
us.
And Laura, how are you?
I'm amazing.
How are your days going?
Pretty busy.
Not too bad, not too bad.
I know. So I would request you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Lori. I'm a security consultant working at a bigger firm. What I specialize in is in network security, usually deploying and delivering on various projects and a lot of different things revolving around cybersecurity and protecting different organizations and whatnot.
And would you like to give us a brief intro about what have you been doing in the past? What were your qualifications?
Yeah, so in the past, a lot of what I do is working with various vendors deploying and delivering on their various projects and a lot of that type of thing. When I had started out, it was starting out as a co-op, so that's where I got a lot of my knowledge and experience to sort of get into the field. And when I was coming in, actually into this field, it was really through co-op, through the various schools and programs, and the opportunity that way was how I got into this field, into doing what I get to do nowadays.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to talk to Eamon. Yes, Eamon. So you're a security analyst, right?
That's right.
And can you give us a brief intro of your past experiences, your qualifications, and how did you enter into this field?
Certainly. So my education is actually in business finance, and my past experience was mostly consists of working in the financial industry. I am currently working at a telecommunication company as a cybersecurity advisor.
Awesome, that's nice. And now I'm going to Laura Alfrez. So Laura, you are as a security operations intern currently, but would you like to give a brief intro about your past experiences and your qualifications?
Yeah, I've been kind of all over the place. So I actually started in business, and then I got interested in IT, and my education background is actually a systems analyst, which is mostly comprised of programming. And then from there, I would say that I just lucked out on this position, and I was interested in it, and a professor actually took me under her wing and exposed me to cybersecurity. And from then I've just been growing. So it's just been a year. So yeah, enjoying my journey.
Amazing, amazing. You guys are experts, it looks like. So I have a question for you. So how did you get into cybersecurity, and what helped you in your journey?
Yeah, so as I previously mentioned, I was actually in a sort of a systems analyst programming diploma, and I had a professor there that took me under her wing and exposed me to cyber, and it was literally just for a few months. And right after I graduated, you know, I just kind of decided, hey, why not I just go into programming interviews, but at the same time cyber interviews, to kind of get my feet wet, see what the interviews are and what I could teach myself along the way. And I lucked out, and I found a company that took me in and built me up, and the rest is still working. I wouldn't say history, but
great.
Working. Yeah.
I have a question for Eamon.
Sure.
So Eamon, are there any free education resources to join, like to gain fundamental knowledge of cybersecurity?
Absolutely. So I'll just a little bit touch on my journey so I can explain better how many resources are available. I pivoted into cybersecurity through a program called ACTP. It's Accelerated Training Program, which is funded by Government of Canada, with partnership with Royal Bank and Rogers Telecommunications. What that program was, it was 7 months, very intensive program, hands-on training. From there, I was able to get GIAC certifications, and that really helped me get into the industry. So similarly, that program is still there, but the funding is not there, so you actually have to pay for it now. But there's so many programs out there. Right now, there is, with ISC Squared, they're offering free cybersecurity certifications to almost 1 million people that are looking to pivot into cybersecurity. There is something called with EC Council. They're offering scholarship programs. So if you actually are someone that is looking to pivot into cybersecurity, and if you just Google free resources, there's so many. It just comes down to you willing to do it. And YouTube, utilizing YouTube, there's a lot of free education there as well with Udemy. So yeah, the resources are just unlimited right now, especially we are in high demand for the cybersecurity. Yeah.
You just mentioned that you did GIAC. What's that? What's the course?
So it's GIAC certifications with SANS Institute. SANS is one of the most expensive university. I would say they provide training. I have 3 certifications with them: GIAC, Incident Handling, and GFACT. It's on the expensive side, and you right now, like if you are interested in getting SANS certification, unfortunately it might not be affordable because that scholarship program is no longer being offered. But SANS does have seminars regularly where they provide a lot of industry insights. They have podcasts. So when you're looking to get into cybersecurity, one thing you really need to do is you need to start listening to podcasts. You need to start getting involved in just reading news and understanding what's happening. Yeah.
Great, great. Okay, so now I'm going to Laurie. So you can advise, like what advice do you have for students or adults wanting to join cybersecurity workforce?
I would definitely say if you want to join the workforce, it depends on where you are and your knowledge. I'd say one of the main things that you have to have is obviously an eagerness to learn, willing to learn, wanting to get out there and learn as much as you can about security. But in terms of from a educational perspective, what really helped for me was because my path into security was really through school and universities. I was wanting to get into security for a really long time, and at the time there wasn't a lot of schools that offered security as a an actual specialized organization or degree really. So at the time what I did was find a college or a university that offered a co-op program, so that while you're in school doing something computer related, you can actually use that opportunity in co-op to really try to pursue any sort of an organization that is willing to take on a intern in a security related type of role, right? Just to get you that exposure, that foot in the door, so that by the time you graduate, you can put on your resume, I have some experience in security, which obviously makes you a lot more appealing just coming out of school versus potentially someone who has that education, but then a lot of times they look for you to have the work experience to go along with that education as well.
Okay, so I have a general question for all three of you. The question is like, for example, in my brain, it's always there's a question, the more technology is advancing, what is your suggestion? The more technology is advancing, the more challenges we are facing, and the more cybersecurity, the safety and security is in demand. What is your view on that?
Yeah, so my view on that is it's definitely very true. I mean, right now we hear all about, AI technology. I'm sure everybody's used or heard of, ChatGPT and the power of it. And, you also have the deep fake that's, being ably manipulated now as well, right? So it's to me, the best way to protect yourself is really you have to educate yourself, right? You have to educate on the type of technology that's out there, because technology is always changing, right? So you have to educate on what's out there and what can people do with that, and then to go one step further, how now that you know what can be done with that, how can you protect yourself or minimize all of this stuff that's out there in some sense, so that it's not that it doesn't happen to you, but you can minimize the risk of, you getting affected by it.
Yeah, you're right. And so I personally see it's so funny when we are using social media, Instagram, everywhere, just clicking something and there you go, boom, everything is, your information is catched. Mm-hmm. Any ad related to skincare companies, things related to education, online education, right away if I'm clicking something, all my phone number, my email is gone, and I receive a call right away. And if it's a scam, I'm in danger.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I will be asking further questions, and we are having a short break. We'll come back after the break, so we continue this discussion. Viewers, we have a short break, and keep watching Dil Ki Baatein. Give us a call at 647-621-2086. This show is live, and stay tuned, coming back from a short break.
सुकून कैसा है बता नहीं सकता, सब घर वालों का भी यही हाल है। खुशी जैसे रूह में उतर सी गई हो, सच पूछें तो ये मुमकिन बनाया HH होम रियल्टी ब्रोकरेज की अनीला जहरा ने।
अपने ख्वाबों का घर आप ही पा सकते हैं, बस एक फोन कॉल और जिंदगी आसान।
Call Anila Zehra at 905-462-0133.
ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਦੋਂ ਸਮਝ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਟਰੈਵਲਿੰਗ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸੁਪਨਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੱਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ETN Travels ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਰਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਸਮੂਥ ਡੋਮੈਸਟਿਕ ਐਂਡ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਆਲ ਇਨਕਲੂਸਿਵ ਪੈਕੇजेस cruises super visa insurance ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ETN Travels ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹਰ ਟਰੈਵਲਿੰਗ ਨੀਡ ਲਈ one stop solution two locations to serve you Brampton and Mississauga
ETN Travels serving you from two locations, Brampton 905-463-1301, Mississauga 905-463-1304.
Hello, this is Tahir Mangat from Remax Millennium. I'm top producer and award winner realtor for multiple years. हम आपको प्रोवाइड करते हैं अंडर वन रूफ रियल एस्टेट सर्विसेज मॉर्गेज सर्विसेज एंड लीगल सर्विसेज फॉर ऑल द रियल एस्टेट मैटर्स मेरा कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर है 647-778-7879 and I'm searchable on all the social medias with Tahir Mangat name and I sell it for max and I'm the best negotiator.
Cause I look good. Shake my head and I move my shoulders, legs, hands and feet. I know you mad, thanks for the input. It ain't my fault that I look this good. And I don't care because I got my hat on lean like a king. I got a smooth disposition. Got the swag running all through my veins. In the coupe when I'm whipping. I try to top like I make a ball crane. When you talk, I don't listen. Cause I don't really wanna hear you complain. I make a smooth transition and bounce back like a basketball game. Who that got 'em up now? Who that got 'em funky like me? Got their hands up like a touchdown. Where they sweating, they gon' need an IV. Who that got 'em up now?
Hi, my name is Sandeep Singh. I'm the owner of Heritage India Restaurant. It's a fine dining restaurant with tradition and culture. अगर आप पुरानी दिल्ली की ट्रेडिशन, कल्चर और माहौल को एंजॉय करना चाहते हैं खानों के साथ तो प्लीज़ आएँ हेरिटेज इंडिया 485 मेन स्ट्रीट ब्रैम्पटन। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप अपनी फैमिली और दोस्तों के साथ यहां आएँ, आकर के हमारे खाने का लुत्फ़ उठाएं। और अगर आपके यहाँ किसी तरीके की कोई पार्टी है, बर्थडे पार्टी, किटी पार्टी, बेबी शॉवर, तो हमारे यहाँ डिफरेंट हॉल्स भी हैं जिनका आप पूरा फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं।
Muslim Welfare Canada has made a concerted effort to lead the fight against child labor, poverty, and illiteracy in third world countries through the generous support of our donors. Both girls and boys receive free, good quality education. Help educate a needy child for just $1 a day or $30 per month. Donate generously. Call 1-866-754-3111 or visit mwcanada.org.
Viewers, welcome back from the break, and you are watching our cybersecurity team experts who are giving us very good advice how to stay safe, how to use your media, how to keep strong passwords, how to get more information about your safety and security, because this is a world of new technology and we are all diving deep into that, and there is no way out. We cannot live without technology. Please focus on it. Give us a call if you have any questions. We are going to answer your questions. And let's go back to my beautiful guests. So I have Lara, and Lara, I have a question for you. and welcome back from the break. So we were chit-chatting, and I had a question in the mind that what are the common types of cybersecurity threats and attacks?
Well, where I work, I actually manage the security training for onboarding new employees. And the first thing that we always talk about is phishing, because that's the one thing that everyone is a target of, especially when it comes to C-level executives. They get impersonated for trying to get employees to share with them details or send them something by impersonating them through email. So phishing attacks are very common. They're getting even better, especially Lori mentioned, she talked about AI and new technology coming out, and they can make phishing templates in just 3 seconds. And you don't even need to know any cybersecurity knowledge, really, because all you need is to go into ChatGPT and be like, create me a phishing template impersonating a C-level executive from this company, even research it for me, and there you go. So phishing is definitely one of the most common attacks, and it's still used. A lot of people think that it's, you know, kind of like repetitive and boring to kind of like hear about it, but it's evolving just like every technology. So making sure you educate yourself about phishing attacks. It doesn't have to be even at your workplace. I'm sure people have gotten texts from people or calls impersonating someone from their family, emails, sending gift cards or something like that. So it affects all of us, and it's getting better every day.
It's just like an example of the, sometimes I've been, actually I worked with one of the company in logistics, DHL, and it's a common company, everybody know, we all know.
Yeah.
And we've been receiving lots of text, you got a package there,
Exactly,
and I was always clicking it and there's nothing, and it goes like a gift box, that's nothing. But I don't know what are they trying to catch. So Eamon, I can ask you a question about that. What do you have in your mind, what kind of techniques these people are using? What are the main skills they have, the negative people who are anti-security? What are your views about that? Like,
well, see, you need to understand the motivation behind these types of attacks. Why are they, you know, what is their motive? So usually their motive is either credential theft, which means stealing your email address and password, because nowadays everything is virtual. We don't get bills in the mail, right? Everything is on the email, or it could be credit card theft. So that's the motivation behind threat actors. That's what the adversaries are going for. And you need to be very cognizant when you see an email and you click on it, right? So my rule of thumb is think before you click, right? And have a zero mindset. What that means is validate everything before you proceed.
yeah, but normal people don't have any idea. Like, there you go, you receive something and you click, oh, something is for me. I mean, we have interest in what's in for me, it's an interest, and that catches our interest and we click right away. We do not have a time to think. That's the problem.
And that's how they try to get you, right? So like what she was saying is, I know people that it happens to, that they'll get an email from someone they know just to realize afterwards that their email has been compromised and hacked.
Exactly.
And in those cases, it's very hard to detect it, especially when you're not in the field. When you're in the field, we tend to have a higher detection, you know, of like, this doesn't look right. But when you're someone not in the field, it's like you don't necessarily have that background or that experience to realize, oh, something may be funny or something's not quite right, right? And the way I tell my friends and family who's not in the industry is that if you get an email from anybody that you know, if it's outside of the norm of how they normally interact with you, immediately it's a red flag. If someone emails you to say, hey, and they don't normally email you, they usually text you or phone you, then that's something going on. Because if they say, hey, and you say, hey back, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, can you, send me money because I have to get, my son a birthday card, please send me an Amazon card. You're kind of like, why are they, so you have to be aware of that to try to not necessarily look for that, but look for anything unusual in the people you typically interact with, right? if you have someone in your email that's maybe say like a mechanical or repair person or something, and all of a sudden they email you out of blue to say, hey, how's it going? Obviously you're going to say, why is my service guy emailing me about something that I never emailed to him about unless I have an issue with, you know, something. So it's a lot of that type of thing that, you know.
And I have been, my personal experience is that I've been actually learning mortgage agents license course, and we've been told to protect the customer's security. And I had that question in my mind. There is a small bar, and our instructor used to inform us, do not click every shopping app, because only check a small lock.
Yes.
If it's there, then it's safe. But I'm not sure whether how correct this thing is.
I would say there's always a 50-50 because there's ways to get around that lock icon, but I will let the experts speak for those.
Yeah, you can highlight on that.
So with regards to the lock, that's typically the one thing that everybody now recognizes that they need to do. If you're going to your banking, you're doing anything sensitive, is you want to make sure there's a little lock.
Yeah.
But like they were saying is there are ways to get around that lock, right? Just because you see that lock doesn't necessarily mean it's safe, because if, say, as an example, you go onto your financial institute to, you know, do some banking or something, right? You have to obviously make sure you're typing in your bank account website properly. If you're off by one letter, you know, someone malicious could have, you know, purchased that domain to pretend to be your financial institute, because they're thinking, oh, someone is not going to be careful, they're just going to maybe be off by a letter, and then they're going to think they're on the legitimate website when it's not, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of comes back to, you have to be careful of what you're typing in, where you're going, and, you know, just being careful in general, and not just mindlessly clicking on everything because you know, someone sends it to you, or, you know, you actually mistype something. So anytime you're doing anything sensitive, it's always, I recommend, is, you know, people look at the address bar or the browser of that, you know, the website you're going, and double check that's really the website. They're not a fake website of, you know, say bank dot, you know, I don't know, USA.com or something, because that's obviously not your bank account. Because, say, you know, like TD, CIBC, they always say, you know, whatever.com, it's not a CIBC dot something else.com, because, you know, that's how they try
and that's
to
why
get
banking all I have seen the staff or whatever, the trainers, they're always very, very strict. While you are just giving training or you're getting a training, everything is so strongly secured that when the customer is even calling and have the credit card there, you have to ask multiple questions, and those questions are actually reshuffled every time, so that the customer cannot give you the repeated answers. And that I had an experience. Anyways, I have another question for you. So what are the risks associated with public Wi-Fi networks, and how can individuals protect themselves?
Well, you wouldn't want to be using open Wi-Fi to do sensitive banking information, for example. If you're going to be streaming Netflix or YouTube, that's totally fine. But the danger really is, it's very easy for someone to kind of be in the middle of a network that is open. So they'll open up their, you could kind of say like their channels, and they'll be listening in to whatever you're browsing on, whatever, possibly what you're typing, and really depends on like the business that has the open Wi-Fi, what kind of security policies they place on those open Wi-Fi networks, and you can never be sure. So paranoia for cybersecurity experts is very high, but just for like the everyday people, just making sure that you're going into sites that you don't have to share sensitive information, you're not going into your taxes, checking your CRA account, checking documents that are sensitive.
Not sitting in Starbucks
and going into your bills or something like that. So I would avoid that. But, you know, in general, streaming and stuff is totally fine, so they don't have to be extremely paranoid.
Yeah,
But it's
thank
very
you
easy
so
for
much.
someone
That's very, very
Yeah.
important, because you gotta be very careful if you're sitting outside at coffee stores, Tim Hortons or Starbucks or any coffee store. Do not log into your banking, online banking, or use any other channels to go online at outside Wi-Fi. Always have it secured. Use it at your home. And that's a secured password and secured line. Anyways, okay, so I have another question for Eamon.
Sure.
Eamon, what are the best practices for safe online shopping?
Safe online shopping. So depending on where you're shopping, you first of all want to make sure the website is secure. Looking at the lock button, like Laura mentioned, not necessarily everything is safe, but you have to be mindful where you're shopping at, right? That's one. Don't click on ads, because a lot of times, like I've seen sometimes, my mom, she very frequently sends me posts, she gets ads, and I have no idea where these websites are. Either they're in China or Russia, and I look at the link and I'm like, Ma, did you click on this? She's like, yeah, it's on sale for $5. And I'm like, no, this is not a real website. So just be really cognizant where you're clicking. Like use, personally, I would just use companies that I know, right? I don't shop anywhere outside of Canada, just because I cannot verify the authenticity of the website. That's my recommendation. I'm not sure if you guys want to add
Amazing.
anything.
Yeah, and adding in your credit card details on those websites too.
Yes.
It's very
Yes.
That's a
Just
great
asking for
information.
trouble.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for informing my viewers. And Nori, I have a question. I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Very simple, not very tough.
Sure.
One is that do you think, is there any, like, on the one hand there is cybersecurity to save our security. We have lots of things going on, online courses, we have education for youngsters coming up in this field. But at the same time, do you think there's another market which is oppositely trying to damage that? Is that a complete strong market, or people sitting there who are trying to damage it?
I don't know if I would say that they're trying to damage it versus the way I always see it is you have your good guys and your bad guys, right? You have your cybersecurity guys, which we can think of as the good guys, are trying to protect, our privacy, our, identity, our information, and, our financials, everything, right? And then you have the bad people, or the bad actors, who, they try to gain access to that, and a lot of times it's for malicious use, right? Whether
in short,
it's
gaining money without working.
Exactly. Either gaining money without working,
Yeah.
or to, some people could be working as a hire because they don't like a company, and it's not for financial gains, it's really for
Exactly.
they want to damage the reputation of a
Yeah.
company, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that they all come from the same, not necessarily the same background, but they all have to know the same sort of information, right? They have to know, how do the regular people, how do they access a website? What do they believe is secure? And then what the bad people will do is they'll take that one step further of, okay, I know how they think, now how can I trick them, right? Because their idea is all about how can I trick them so I can get their information, right?
Yeah.
So it's not so much of, what you were mentioning before,
Yeah.
but the way I see it is like, as someone in cybersecurity, you're always trying to get ahead or get in front of them to try to make your protections or whatever you put in place a lot better than what the bad people are trying to do, or what they know and they're trying to so it's a lot of back and forth to try to mitigate the various risks to protect the organization, or to protect yourself, or to protect the people using your website or your technology.
Perfect.
You gotta
Great
think like
answer.
the bad
Yeah.
guy, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks. Laura, I have a question that is going to be, and then we are going to ask you a couple of questions of your personal life, interests, hobbies. And this is a lot of cybersecurity here. My viewers might not get, what are we going to do and what are we doing? So anyways, I have a question, which is, for me, as a person like me, I have no background of IT. What do you think, like, I have no information, for example, assume I know nothing, but I am qualified, educated person. I have other degrees. I know lots about cybersecurity. By listening, hearing, reading, how can I enter into this field to join this?
Well, similar to my background, you just have to take all the opportunities that are available to you. So if you're interested in something, the thing is with cybersecurity, it's very rare that people who are really good at it actually come from degrees or diplomas that actually learn from those institutions. A lot of the time they're taking their skills from, say, consulting or so many other avenues of like jobs. They take those skills, being able to talk to people, being able to impersonate someone, being able to talk to clients, all of those aspects, even training someone, talking to someone about something and kind of explain like I'm 5. And that skill itself is needed in the cybersecurity world. So you don't have to be a hacker. You don't have to know how to break into a website. A lot of the things that you probably have in your background, you can bring into the cybersecurity world. Thinking about like policies.
And we can do certifications.
Exactly.
In that.
Certifications are great. You know, just like listening to open source technologies and using those as well. Off the top of my head, BHIS Anti-Siphon, Try Hack Me is another one. You've got B-Sides. Going to conferences is an amazing one as well.
So which college or areas of institutes are you suggesting if our viewers, they want to join any the institutes which are giving you initial courses so you can get a good job, or what are the job prospects? My next question would be, but first you are going to inform me about the institutes, what to join.
I would say as a complete beginner, say if you don't know much about IT, everyone has a preference, but the first thing that would usually come up on a search is CompTIA. So you're learning the 3 that are the basic ones is I believe if you could Security Plus, Network Plus. There was a third one that I think
cybersecurity analyst.
Yeah, so there's 3.
Okay.
So basically with those certifications, they even teach you just about computers, how they work, and then from there you go into the security certification. So that's A plus. That's the one. And that's really breaking down computers.
Can you just repeat again, Amen?
Sure, it was A plus.
A plus, and then security
is Security Plus.
Security plus,
and then it's
Network Plus.
Network Plus.
To connect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one more question, last question from Laurie. What do you, any one of you can answer, or you can just talk with each other. What is 2-factor authentication and why is it important for cybersecurity? Do you have any idea?
Sure. So 2-factor authentication it's literally what it sounds like. It's 2 methods that you can use to authenticate or verify a person as who they say they are, is the short form of it. So for example, I believe right now all the banks implement a 2-factor authentication. So as you're aware, typically you need to put in your username and your password, but then in addition to your password, they'll now send a text to your phone and be like, you have to put in this code that we just sent to your phone as well. And your phone is that second piece of identification, because one is something that you know and the other is what you know, but you can't write it down somewhere so someone can be able to authenticate as you. It's just a method to make it harder for you to be able to
and I had an experience with that. Sometimes if you're not putting the correct password, the phone info is not, and that app is not working at all. I had an experience working with Air Canada as well. So they were connecting my email with the phone number, and then when I want to log into my career site, I couldn't sometimes if I forget by one digit. So so now we're going to talk about something not about cybersecurity. A lot of it, my viewers are digesting it. And Laurie, you tell me, what's your way to relax away from work? How do you take some vacation time, or how do you spend your weekends with family?
Well, so it's a multitude of answers I could give you. But basically what I like to do when I'm not working or from on vacation, as I like to travel. But because I do love this industry, I also do like to not necessarily be completely away from it, after I'm done my, say 9 to 5 work. I tend to still keep on top of, like if I'll hear something happening on the news or an incident happened to a company, I'll then, on the side try to see exactly what happened or, what did they do, what did they not do to, keep on top of trends and see what's going on. And then, aside from that, I also, enjoy scuba diving as an example. That's just completely, 180 from what I typically do from a day-to-day type of thing, right?
And
just
any interest in music or any other interests, like you have hobbies, you create something at home, paintings, do you have any kind of?
I like to do some renovation work around the house.
For your home?
Yeah. So
amazing.
That's impressive.
It's just very, very random.
You guys
things.
can contact her for your home renovations. And Eamon, so now your turn.
For me, like what Laura said, it's really, I feel like ever since I transitioned into cybersecurity, it's more of a lifestyle for me. When I'm not working, because being very new to the industry, I'm constantly educating myself and trying to keep up with what's happening because things are changing every second, right? And you have to be up to date with what's going on. So apart from that, like I enjoy eating food. I'm a big foodie. So if there's a restaurant, you'll find me there.
You don't look like you're
well,
so
no. and I do love to ride a bike. So during summer, I go for very, very long bike rides. I like to travel and I love watching Pakistani dramas. So
amazing. Amazing. Any specific channel?
Right now, Hum TV. Hum TV, Geo
Which
TV.
play are you watching these days?
Tere Bin.
Oh, I love that. It's at the end.
I know. I'm just waiting for the last episode, but I enjoy that.
It's quite getting emotional, and I really am. Addicted to that.
Same here. It was So that's what I do.
I'm feeling bad. It's going to end soon.
I know. Last episode. Hopefully it comes this week. So
very nice interest. Okay, and now Lara, what are your interests besides work? No more work talk.
But as you can tell, cybersecurity people is very difficult to unplug. So that's the whole nature of the work, right?
I can understand.
But I feel like anyone who's good in the industry really does know how to unplug and have hobbies. Like, well, you mentioned it just now, music is one of mine. In terms of other hobbies, I'm weird like this, but I like to pick up like weird hobbies on the side, like
like what?
Juggling and lockpicking was like my recent ones. Yeah. So
can you
because
say
I'm
again?
juggling and lockpicking, and it's so random because I just like to. Same with music. I just like to do stuff with my hands and kind of get out of because you're always looking at a screen, you're always thinking stuff in your head. So doing anything with the hands really is
do you like traveling?
Yeah, I do love traveling. Gone to a few places, Turkey, Greece, so those are really great. I mean, we're out of pandemic, so I'm pretty sure everyone's
is writer here?
No.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you so much. Thanks for all beautiful interest in your things besides work. The hobbies are beautiful, and you have to be getting some fresh air for your work because the work is quite intense. In order to keep on track, you need to have some hobbies on the side.
Yes.
I love gardening, I love music, I love to sing, and I do sing.
Oh, really? I want to hear you sing. That's interesting.
Okay, I will be singing in another show.
Yeah,
I'll invite you guys
come
again.
to the next show.
And I'm gonna inform my viewers. We have actually 5 books being donated by Ali Khan. He's an author of the book Because You Can, and the book is Your Cybersecurity Career, a simple and practical handbook with actionable insights for success. So we do have those 5 books. Please contact me at our email at voiceoftorontotv@gmail.com. Send us an email if you are interested in that book to get the initial information regarding cybersecurity. And our show is actually coming to an end. I will be requesting my guests to give small messages in regards to cybersecurity to my viewers. So Laurie, you're the first one. Please deliver a message to my viewers.
If cybersecurity is something that you're interested in, to get into it, all you really need is just a passion and eagerness for learning and wanting to try new things, and constantly, being exposed to different things, constantly learning, and trying to join various organizations that don't really cost a lot to try to network and get your name out there, and trying to get some exposure.
Amazing, thank you so much. And now, Eamon, your turn.
I would say that if you have a thought in your mind that I want to get into cybersecurity, don't procrastinate. Start. Right now is the best time. There is a very high demand, salaries good, and it's a lifelong learning. So you will be continuously learning every day. There are a lot of resources available. Leverage LinkedIn, reach out to people, and you know what? It came to my surprise when I was transitioning that people are always willing to help you. So definitely utilize LinkedIn and just start. That's the first step.
Thank you so much. Laura, can you please deliver a message to our viewers?
So, if you're interested in going to cyber, the first thing that you can do is just attend conferences, and there's a lot of conferences that are usually free or pretty affordable. There's lots of meetups as well. So if you're shy and you don't know where to go and you're intimidated by all these big things and these diving into things that you don't know, find people who are like-minded, find people who are willing to support you, to build you up, and just go on that journey, and always think before you click, I would say.
Perfect. Amazing. Okay, so with that, we are ending our show. Thank you so much for visiting at my show, Dil Ki Baatein. We will be inviting few of your other team members again in another show, and any one of you who is interested, you can contact me. You always have my number, my email, everything. And thank you so much. Viewers, keep in touch at voiceoftorontotv@gmail.com. You can email me, and if you have interest and questions, send us those questions. We are going to give you the answers. Plus, if you are in search of more information regarding cybersecurity and entering into this workforce as a career, you can get the book, and you can email us those. We have 5 books. First 5 persons send us an email, we will be delivering you the books. And with that, thank you so much for watching my show, Dil Ki Baatein. It was nice show, lots of information. You can always contact for having more information, and I'll be having a couple more shows. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Allah Hafiz.